This episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by Loot Crate. Hey everyone, you know what Loot Crate is. It's a monthly subscription service where you get your collectibles, apparels, and more from your favorite pop culture franchises delivered right to your door every month. We're talking t-shirts, figures, comic book stuffs, things for your kitchen. Everybody needs something for their kitchen. It's a wide range of exclusives that you can't get anywhere else from your fan favorite franchises like Harry Potter, Marvel Comics, Fallout 4, Star Wars, and so much more. From bad guys doing good things for the wrong reason to good guys with questionable tactics, August is the perfect time to explore the anti-hero. From bad guys doing good things for the wrong reason to good guys with questionable tactics, August is the perfect month to explore the anti-hero. Walk the hero-villain line with this 100% exclusive collection of items from DC Comics, Archer, Dark Horse, and Kill Bill that includes 2 great collectibles, a wearable, and of course, the monthly t-shirt. For less than $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and a whole lot more. But here's the thing, listeners. You have until the 19th at 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive this month's crate, because if you miss that date, it's over. You're going to miss out. You don't want to miss out. So make sure you head over to lootcrate.com/critical, enter the code critical, and save $3 off any new subscription. That's right. It's over at Loot Crate. lootcrate.com/critical. Enter the code critical. Save $3 on any new subscription. Thank you, Loot Crate, for sponsoring this episode of Critical Hit. This episode of Critical Hit is also... being brought to you by Harry's. They've got a great deal at harrys.com/critical hit. This episode is also being brought to you by Harry's. Be sure to head over to harrys.com and enter the code critical hit to save $5 off your first order. Hi, everyone. It is Steven Schleicher, and before we get into the show this week, I wanted to go over another email question that we had. This one, Brian, might be directed towards you mostly, but it's from Tom, who says, "Hello, my name is Tom." Hi, Tom. I've been listening to your show for roughly 8 or so months now. This will be my first time writing to you. You're all a pleasure to listen to, even Rob. Let's see. Makes his day and his trip so much more enjoyable when he listens to us. While listening to your show, I've often come up with questions, but in order to avoid repeat ones, I will be holding them off. Like I'm on episode 323 now. This one has been irking me for a little while, and I don't think it's been asked yet, so here it goes. Why does Randus never use his scythe ability? Remember way back when he earned it some time ago, it was some kind of activated ability which benefited the rest of the party in combat. I think I remember it at a time it was being discussed that he can use it even while extended as a dancing weapon. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I've yet to see him use it, though I'm wondering, did he just forget about it? Thank you, says Tom.
No, it's one I'm aware of, and that's there. I think it's largely just an issue that being able to reroll attacks is always good, and I tend to use my daily magic item powers towards that.
One important thing that goes with that is that usually combat goes like 6 turns, right?
Yes.
Or 6 rounds, which means each person gets to do about 7 things in combat. If you have, and by now everybody has more than 7 things that they could do with a standard action, right? So a lot of the time, things get to the back burner because they tend to be situational. And the more you use something and the more comfortable you get with it, the more likely you are to use it anyway. So I think everybody has powers or like especially with items that they probably don't use as often as they potentially could. But that's just because you only get to do 6 or 7 things per fight, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, there's also the question, there are things we have that we chose that we didn't realize necessarily wouldn't always come up or want to be used. And I mean, I have powers that I personally chose because they sounded awesome that I just never really think about using because the risk reward for other stuff seems like it's stronger. So, there's that process of, I have this, this one lightning power, but it never works right, and it just kind of annoys me. So I'll use it when I remember to use it, but that's usually at the point where all the other neat stuff is resting.
Is there, Rob, this magical thing where you have a lot of really super cool powers that It just doesn't make sense in the game when you may have something that's a encounter power that's maybe more powerful or more effective than maybe a daily. Or I don't know what yours is, Brian. Is it a daily?
Yeah, the Inspiring Scythe, it is a daily magic item power.
Okay.
So
typically, though, dailies are a little bit more powerful than encounters, right?
Yeah.
What type of action isn't to activate it? Sorry, just real quick.
No, go ahead. That's
minor
fine.
action.
Okay.
So, I mean, I could definitely use it. It's just, again, I usually use my daily magic item powers to
but
re-roll attacks. And then
But are there powers, Rob, that sometimes, even though it seems really cool, it really is maybe better to use encounters or dailies or that kind of
There's
stuff?
a lot of powers that are going to be super situational. With Ket, I have like 15 different things I can do with a minor action.
Right.
So it's just action economics. In Brian's situation, it's daily item power economics. Like right now we can only use 2 daily item powers a day
before a milestone.
Yeah, before we hit a milestone. So, since he has difficulties with rolling dice, he usually uses those on the Kucher's a second chance, and I don't know what other daily items he got.
My Resounding Battle Fist is nice to daze people. Yeah. That's what I generally use as those one too.
Sam, what do you prefer? Do you prefer, depending on the situation, I guess, if you're up against a bigger group of people or a boss monster, do you prefer using your encounters or your dailies as that I'm going to do something awesome moment?
I mean, it's really, again, is very circumstantial because rogues tend to be almost all of Sparkle's powers, both daily and encounter, are single target, as is typical of most rogues. So it's not really a matter of how many opponents we're fighting. I tend to try to focus on encounter powers for the most part unless I know that there's a daily that's going to be really, really good. Like there was that one time where it was when we were fighting a solo monster. If you've got something that is good against one enemy for the entire encounter, then I might just throw that out there because that's relatively rare in this game and it'll be good for the whole fight, and I'll use that even before I use any encounter powers. But for the most part, I tend to lean pretty heavily on the encounter powers because then I'm not spending gas I'm going to regret using later in the day.
Right, exactly. And Rodrigo, I would imagine, as Rob said, he's got a billion different powers that he could use. I imagine that by the time we hit level 25 or 27 or something like that, as we get close to 30, we're going to have so many powers that there's going to be stuff that we would probably never, ever end up using, even though we've added it into our spell books or our abilities.
That is certainly true for... I just totally blanked out on what they're called. What are the side non-attack abilities called? Like
utility.
It's just basically utility powers keep accumulating. But if you'll recall... after level 13, each new encounter or daily eats up a previous encounter or daily. You basically swap them out. So you always have this library of 9 core powers that you're using. You just kind of take out the more underpowered ones or the ones that you're not using as much. I will say, if you have something that you're really not using, that is not an item power. Item powers are supposed to be situational, so that's fine. But if you have something in your character sheet that you learn as like an encounter attack power or a daily attack power, and you find yourself never using it, you really need to retrain that at the next level because there is no point in having a power that you never ever use. Even if you some players really, really like their little corner case powers. They're like, oh man, if I can land this on 6 enemies at once, it would be so awesome. And that's where they have them. And that's fine. A lot of time I will still try to talk the player out of it. But if that's what they want, if that's all they want out of life, then by all means. But if you seriously have a power where maybe you picked it out and then you tried it once and you're like, this does not do the thing that I thought it did.
Right.
And then you've never used it again, you should really retrain that because there's no point in sitting on a dead feat or a dead power or anything like that, since it works both ways. You only get to do 6 things, but also you only get to do 6 things. So you should have all of the options that you're going to like to do for those 6 things you get to do.
Cool. All right, Tom, hopefully that answers your question. And listeners, if you have a question, podcast at majorspoilers.com is where you need to send them. All listeners, I really love a clean, close, comfortable shave, and I get it with blades from Harrys.com. Listen, I've tried a lot of other razor blades over the years. I've even tried electric razors. I really don't like electric razors, but I like a shave that I get with a traditional blade and handle, and I get a great deal from Harry's, and I know you will too. And as I kind of hinted at the last time, Harry's has a brand new deal going on. They just sent me a couple of these. They have some Generation 3 razor blades that are, these are really cool. Now, these blades still give you a really close shave with the 5 blades that they have in there, but they're softer, they're flexible. You get a better glide when you run it across your face. The blades now even have a trimmer on the top. So if you're trying to get right underneath the nose, that place right underneath your nose where all the hairs get stuck, or that part right by your ears and your hairline, you can get those with the little trimmer edge that's on there. I like that a lot. The other thing is, the first handle that Harry's ever sent me was an all glossy chrome finish thing. And that was a great blade, but it kind of slipped out of my hands when it got wet. So then Harry's introduced the new handle that's all covered in like a grippy material, right? Like some kind of a rugged plastic. And that's really good. I really like that a lot. I've got an olive green one that I like, but they sent me a brand new orange one as well that is really cool, and I like seeing them side by side, and I'm going to alternate between them just because, I can. But if you like that chrome look on your handle, but you still want a good grip, there's a brand new handle out there as well that has grips in the places where you're holding it, but chrome all over the rest of the handle. And I dig it, man. It's really cool. It's worth checking out. So you've got some new Harry's razors that include the trimmer, softer and flexible. It's got a lubricating strip. And then you've got the new handles. You've got a textured handle for more control when it's wet. And check this out. Each blade is only $2 compared to the $4 that you're going to be paying at the other places wherever you buy your blades. But why are you buying your blades anywhere else? Head over to Harrys.com, and they've got a great deal for you. Head over to Harrys.com, enter the promo code Critical Hit. You're going to get $5 off your first order at Harrys.com. Okay? Now, this is the deal that you can get with this for the first time. You get a moisturizing shave cream. You get the new blades that I was just telling you about, the blade cartridges. You also get a travel cover for your blades. You get your choice of handle, all for $15. Enter that coupon code Critical Hit. You're going to save some extra money on that. That's from Harrys.com. Harrys.com, enter the promo code Critical Hit. Save $5 off for your first order. Thank you, Harrys, for sponsoring this episode of Critical Hit. And now, let us get into the action. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing this episode with a friend. I think we have a plan.
We something.
We have a something, says Brian. Sam, maybe we should carry it out.
Sounds good. I mean, I expect it to last all of 5 minutes.
5 seconds? All right.
Yep.
All right, Rodrigo, let's see how this plan plays out.
All right. So
big explosion.
Clap, 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 clap. Yes.
On Critical Hit.
Hopefully
meteor attack. So, yeah, what were you guys doing?
We're going to cast some rituals. We're going to seize a tank. We're going to enter the barracks. We're going to enter the archive.
The research building.
The research building, yeah. Then we'll enter the archive. We'll find our way to Lek. We'll get Lek, get back into the tank if everything works out well, and then get the heck out. And if it doesn't, I think everyone has seen the Keystone Cops. And that is plan B.
I would say that would be accurate. Oh, wait. Did you say Keystone Cops or Boondock Saints? Because it's definitely going to be one of those two.
Kind of the same thing. I think Huey is the funniest.
All right. So, you guys are standing outside of Scarf's Illicit Emporium.
Cool. I think then I will start leading them back towards Chitaska so that we can go to Greywater.
Okay.
We're going to be super sneaky.
And once we get out of Murder Town, we can hop a trolley to make this process a little faster.
Okay. Yep. You guys get on the train.
Get on the train.
Do we have to look like anybody specific here?
Not Eladrin or half-elves, but other than that...
Like, we don't have to look like people of society or anything?
No.
Working class Orem, activate.
I adjust his working class disguise accordingly.
Yeah.
Because his working class is probably like, yes, I am a working class crystal polisher. That's a full-time job in the Feywild.
Hello.
I was expecting more of a
human.
burlap sack.
Yeah, I assume that he would look like a human, like a normal human person, but he would maybe like have soot on his face, but it would be like perfectly rectangular soot, and it would be like symmetrical.
Yes.
All lines like exactly in the same, like where they're supposed to be.
And I talk with a really bad English accent.
Hello. Oh, no, it's Orem.
Hello, Mary Poppins.
Okay,
Zakar
you guys
is going to look just like
chase up.
Full Sparkle, only human.
So
You
green
what?
hair?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not that.
I'm going to fit in.
That's not.
All right, so you guys scare some passengers off of a train car. And eventually you get to the big industrial district and can make your way to Greywater.
And yeah, she'll recommend once we get here, everyone putting on their jumpsuit costumes because that will be very much in place.
Okay.
Or these are, what, Iron Cobra?
Nah, just
Work
good
outfits.
old-fashioned, unlabeled,
Okay.
just using our hat of disguise to look like we're in jumpsuits.
Okay, done.
Can do.
Step into a phone booth. You're fine.
All right, you guys follow the instructions that Sparkle got to a very indistinct factory that seems to have these big tanks, not like tanks, but like water tanks, kind of around 2 of the 4 sides, and it's making this like constant whirring noise that that sort of like droning noise that you don't really pay much attention to, but once you think about it, is actually incredibly loud. As you guys like make your way closer to it, you realize that if you ever talk to each other, like you actually are now like talking very loudly.
Now is probably a good time to duck in somewhere and put up our rituals.
Very well.
Okay.
All right.
Probably water breathing first, since I think it tends to have the longer duration.
Sure.
Yep.
The water breathing has a longer duration?
Up to 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Do we get to throw in helps on this, Rodrigo?
Yeah, sure. Anybody
What's the skill?
Arcana.
Okay.
who's taking point on this?
Randus is.
All right.
Okay.
Or nature. It can be Arcana or nature.
Oh, did someone say nature?
Sure did.
Yep.
Hey, look.
Arcana is slightly better.
Here comes your help.
29 for me.
Oh, I rolled that.
Ooh.
Problem.
23.
16.
See, this
All
is
right.
why I have an imp.
No crit fails.
That's good.
So
What does that get you up to, Brian?
that should give me up to the 24 hours. Yep. No way over to
All
50.
right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Not with my initial check, but thanks to the help.
All right. Telepathic Bond coming up. Also Arcana, if anyone wants to help.
You doing a point on that?
I will do point on that. And I roll a 39.
Oh, don't think you need the
30.
help then.
I do not
So,
successfully help.
Oh.
If anybody can help, that would be great, because we can go from 3 hours to 8 hours on this.
How do you not
I
successfully help?
didn't add my modifier. Let me try that again.
That's all right. Like you only need to hit a 10.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So we got
So then, yep,
Yeah.
cool.
For the most part, at this point, it's just don't crit
hit a
fail.
roll.
Yeah, I'm just
Fair.
hunting for watches mostly.
Yep. Well, I help.
All right.
Rob helps.
We've got 8 hours of telepathic bond, and we've got 24 hours of underwater breathing.
Okay.
Does that allow us to also breathe air?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I just
hinder.
want to clarify.
We all start flopping around on the ground.
It's not like one of those things where we now only breathe water.
No. It works. It doesn't hinder air breathing.
As we enter our 5th year of Critical Hit, I've started watching for those things.
No, that does definitely sound like a 2nd edition or before kind of thing they would do.
Hey, look. We can cast one of these. We can cross one of these items off our list as successful. Check mark.
Woo!
Now it's time to seize the tank.
I'm just glad to hear somebody wrote this stuff down.
It's a metaphorical list. We didn't actually.
No, I wrote it down.
Good. Agent 222 is on point.
I am.
No sort of proximity range limitation, is there?
For a telepathic bond? No.
Yeah, not that I'm seeing.
Yep, that was one of those things that when we first started using the ritual in this game, we were like, well, surely nope. I guess it's forever or like distance-wise as far as you can get, as long as everybody's present for the ritual.
Yeah, and I think we said same plane, right?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Once you're bonded, you're bonded.
Yep.
I think we just assumed the same plane.
Yeah.
Let's everyone try to stay on the same plane for this mission, okay?
I can't make any promises.
Yeah.
I call the spirit of St. Louis.
All right.
We'll see what happens when we get there.
Okay, so 2 rituals successfully cast.
All right, then I think I will try to close the rest of the way towards. I'll say, why don't you guys let me scout the building, and we can figure out exactly what we're up against and what the plan of attack will be.
Okay.
I
will scout ahead.
Okay.
The rest of us will stand here and look like we're on a smoke break.
You want to give me a stealth check?
Always. I have a 43.
Yay.
Nice.
All right. You get up to the building. You are on one of the sides with the tanks.
Cool.
Loud, noisy tanks.
Can I see one that is obviously rigged up differently?
No. All of these are just basically just giant cylinders on one side. The entrance is essentially the way that you come at it. If you go around to your left, you'll hit more tanks. If you go around to the right, you'll get to sort of what appears to be a person type entrance. And then around the floor, or around, if you continue to the right, or I suppose also if you continue to the left, because there's only 4 sides, you will probably get to a docking bay type thing.
Cool. I will check out the person-sized entrance.
Okay. As you approach the person-sized entrance, there is somebody sitting there or leaning against the wall next to the door, looking through a clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like flipping pages.
Can I get close enough to see like what's written on the clipboard?
Probably not. There really isn't like a lot of room to
hide.
Well,
there.
They got their back to the wall, so
sure, fair enough. Then yeah, I'll just go around the other way then to take a look at the other tanks in the docking bay.
Okay. The other tanks are also noisy, and when you get to the other side, you see a closed docking bay, but also a side entrance that is also kind of person-sized.
Got it. I will check out that entrance.
Okay. It is locked.
Okay.
As you made your way around, you notice that there are no windows to speak of to this place.
Got it.
As you might expect with a secret factory.
Makes perfect sense. Okay. From where, like, is there a way, like, alley conduit sort of ways that I could maybe get the guys to this back door without them being seen by clipboard guy in front?
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty roundabout, but it just takes a little bit of time.
All right, then I will sneak back to them and say, all right, follow my lead. And I will lead them to the back door.
Okay.
And she will start fiddling with her necklace of keys and attempt to make a thievery check to unlock this door. Although, actually, first she'll be like, can I tell if there are any traps on it or whatever?
Yeah, that would be a perception check.
I've got a 33 perception.
Okay. There do not appear to be any traps or anything.
Great. Then I will attempt to pick the lock. So I have a robust 27 thievery check.
Okay. I'd say that's probably good enough. There is some relatively loud clicking, not your best lock picking, but yeah, fortunately the tanks are so loud that they actually drown out some of that noise.
Cool. Then I will open the door.
Okay. Inside is a big, scary-looking locust tank, except it doesn't have the front primary weapon. And instead of having kind of a thorax that has systems or weapons or whatever the other ones had, this just has a big water tank, essentially. You can't see into it, but it has a big hatch on the top, and then it has several kind of intakes on either side.
Does anyone seem to be guarding it?
Not right now.
Interesting. Then, did I get a description of the operator guy, or just a name?
Just a name.
That'd be great if I had a description of him. Okay, so guy outside with a clipboard is obviously going to notice if we pilot this thing out of here. That's actually a really good question. How does this thing get to the platform? I assume it's not just chunking around through the streets. Did Techiato give me any advice on that?
You can pull out the stuff that he gave you, and it does have a couple of routes, and some of them do go through the streets.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a secret tank. The issue is that
it's just a secret facility.
Yeah, the facility itself is secret because of maybe it generates some kind of weird special water. Also, looking at it on the inside, literally those tanks are it. Those tanks are just outside, and then here's the inside is a bay to maybe fit maybe 6 of these tops.
Mm-hmm. So did he have a schedule? Where were we at in terms of when this thing is supposed to show up at the archive?
Yeah, basically at this point it's supposed to show up maybe within the next 6 hours.
Okay. Then I think my plan is to see if I can convince the guy with the clipboard that I guess it'll be a good dry run of can we pull off guard and operator. So 2 of you guys look like guards. I'll make myself look like what I assume an operator of this sort of thing would look like. And we're going to try to say go on this and knock him out if necessary, but nab the tank and start taking it towards the archive and hope that we get enough clearance before the actual people show up and notice that it's gone.
Sikar looks like a guard.
So does Ket.
Okay. I'll make myself look like, a coil tank operator.
All right, I'll take 3 bluff checks.
Okay.
Am I modifying my bluff check? I think I am.
+5 due to...
Yeah, I think
we've all got hats of disguise, so.
24.
What's the hat of disguise give us?
+5.
31.
Ooh.
Okay, cool.
Whew, nice.
39.
Okay.
You have a 15 bluff?
He does under certain circumstances.
Under certain
Times.
circumstances.
Yeah.
I think out of character I figured out what they are, but we don't need to get into that here.
It's my awesome bonus. I can just throw it around as I like.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so there you guys are.
So, yeah, she'll have the other two guys. Actually, yeah, why don't the other two guys get into the tank right now before we go around and
Now
try
the
to
tank
claim
only
said tank.
sits. The tank only sits one person. That's who the operator is.
Get in the water part.
Oh, okay.
Which was the plan for how they're getting in the first place.
Right.
Sure.
Form of water.
Exactly.
There's
Wonder
no
magic twin powers activate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nerd
All right,
powers
so what's happening?
activate.
Zan, you are not.
I didn't say I wanted to be Zan.
Not to mention you bumped his steel fist, which won't do you any good at all.
So Orem and Randus are going to get into the water, and Little Sparkle, Sakar, and Ket are going to go up front and be like, hey, we're here for our tank.
Okay. So Randus and Orem climb up.
Okay.
Open the hatch. Hatch opens up. Tank is empty.
Is this the right tank?
Well, we can check. They might not have filled it up yet. So why don't we check the other tanks to see which one is supposed to...
This is the only tank here.
Oh, got it.
I'm sorry. What I said that it fits about 6 of these things. It's only currently housing only one.
Single tank in there.
Yeah.
Does there seem to be a water supply thing yet? Somewhere around?
Yeah. All of those weird tanks outside. They all have spouts that go in here with like big hoses and stuff.
Oh, okay. Then presumably we'll have them go in the empty tank, and the idea should be that we'll go in, we'll need to have the thing fueled up. Hopefully, is there a protocol on like how the filling is done? Is there a special team that does that, or do the operators do it?
You don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's see if we can figure it out, and if not, plan B, knock this guy out and take the water.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
So Randus and Orem get into the tank.
Yep.
Okay. Close the hatch behind you.
Yeah.
Seals.
All right. Then Sparkle, Sakar, and Ket will basically... She'll navigate them in a way so that it's not clear that we're coming to the front from the back, but like make it look like we're coming from another part of the platform.
Okay.
Just be like, step up to guy with clipboard. It's like, we're here to pick up the tank.
He looks at the 3 of you. Like, oh, okay. Well, thanks for bringing these guys over. And then looks back down at his clipboard.
Good. Walk past him.
And he's like, no. Authorized personnel only. Thanks for bringing the guards over. I'm just going to drive the tank.
Oh. Got it. What time were you planning on driving it?
Well, I have to fill it first.
Oh, got it. Well, when
he looks at Ket and is like, you're a little short for a guard.
He makes up in ferocity what he lacks in size.
Oh, wow. All right. Little jaguar over here. Anyway, if you two just want to go in, it's like he turns to Little Sparkle, just let the top brass know I got it.
I mean,
they'll get their special water.
They're eager to get it as soon as possible. I can help you with the filling or anything if you need it.
That's all right. I don't want you to screw up. And don't blame it on me because you're not on this sheet.
Fine.
I'm gonna think it, little Sparkle. We got this. Go get in the tank so you can be there.
Okay. Then
Sneaky.
she'll nod and walk off, and then sneak around back and get into the tank.
Okay.
Hi.
Weren't you going to knock out the driver?
Yeah, apparently he needs to fill the thing up with water first, so I'm hoping that Sakar and Ket can handle that portion, and then we can do a swap.
Okay.
Sneak.
All right, so the guy leads Sakar and Ket back inside. And he says, you guys just stand over there. Don't touch anything. All this equipment is very precise. Yeah. Gets into the cockpit and, basically backs it up to the first spout.
Beep.
Yep. Pulls it down, plugs it in.
Pocket a queep.
Yep. He reaches over and turns off the radio. It's like it's a weird station. And you guys feel a slight mist come from one of the spouts on the inside.
Refreshing.
Yep. He guy scratches his chin while he's waiting there, kind of checks. All right. Closes it, moves that over to the next spout. He's like, you guys know about these? He plugs in the next spout. These he knocks on the tank. They have the same protective coating that the war tanks have, but except on the inside. Because in order to make sure that this water is hyper pure, we have to run this acid bath through it first. Just make sure nothing got in through the hatch.
Great.
I'm gonna relay that information.
Okay.
Knock him out now.
Brain
Knock him
thoughts.
out now.
Please don't let us be bathed in acid.
Orem thought that, did he?
Randus, you got this, right?
Sakar will knock him out now.
Okay. What do you do?
You know that thing I do where I leap with mighty speed and come down with a crushing blow upside the head?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Okay. The guy goes, what's happening? And
Pow!
gets conked out. Ugh.
We good?
We crawl out.
You got to crawl out. You realize it doesn't have a hatch on the inside.
Oh, great.
Or it doesn't have
A latch.
a latch. That's what I meant, yeah. The hatch does not have a latch on the inside.
There's the catch.
Let us out,
Lazard,
please.
Open the hatch.
Pop up there and do the thing.
Okay.
Well, that was close.
I'm going to tie this guy up and stash him somewhere.
Okay.
Good call.
I will search him for identification badges, ID, anything like that.
He has an ID.
Is he Rayeli Forbat?
Yep.
Okay.
Steal his face.
Yes, I will very much steal his face.
Okay. Matthew, you want to give me a larceny check?
How does that work? Would that be thievery?
Oh, thievery, that's what I meant. I'm thinking of exalted terms. Yeah, sorry.
I wanted to make sure because, I don't do a lot of thievery and sometimes I forget.
Spend a point of willpower.
What are you thieving?
19.
He's stashing something where the cops won't find it.
A tied up body with a gag.
No,
Yep.
fair enough.
Okay.
So nobody's going to find Reality 4 Bat unless, well, yeah, we don't want him to die necessarily, but I also probably not really thinking forward to that. So yeah, I'm just going to stash him somewhere where he won't be found.
Sure. Yeah. There's like closets and stuff that you can stick him in. I mean, he can breathe and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Through his nose.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's actually load it with the water, just in the off chance that they've got any type of monitors or things.
Of course.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Just we don't need to be covered in acid and stuff while we're in there.
Good call.
So, what are you guys doing?
Team Nerd is getting back into the tank and then covered in water.
Okay.
Minus the acid.
Yes.
Minus the acid.
Yeah, Randus can handle it.
I think it might be wise to put the water in first and verify the acidic content before.
And do you guys want to actually look at this water and find out if there's any weird magical properties you can identify, or is it just super pure water?
Okay.
They'll be fine.
They straightened the H's and shined up the O's, and by God, there's a tank full.
35
35 what?
on Arcana.
Oh.
Checking for magic.
I got to check for magic.
Is it magic water?
Well, so you guys just walk up to a random spout and start hooking it in?
Just put it in your mouth and go.
No, so the Arcana check is to figure out what the hell this water is before we start putting it in the tank, in case some of it is actually acid. Or it might be nature check, or
well, you can't see it. All you have are these arcanely labeled tanks.
Fair enough. Then yeah, I think we'll probably have to do some testing of what's what.
Squirt
Just
some on the
splash a little
ground.
on the ground, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it starts smoking.
Yep. Psst. That's acid.
Yeah.
Ah.
Probably water.
Okay. Shall we fill it up?
Sure.
Yep, you guys hook it up to the intake
tank.
and start filling it up.
Okay.
And eventually it gets pretty close to the top.
Okay, think that's good?
Yes, I think so. We don't want to fill it to overflowing.
Yeah, we gotta
especially since you're actually adding mass
count
to the
our
water.
density, yeah.
The mass of at least 2 and possibly 4 of us.
Orem doesn't see anything that appears to be magical about this water.
Okay.
Until it eats his arm!
Well,
No, that didn't happen.
nothing ventured. I'll go ahead and hop in.
Okay. Randus hops in.
Are you wearing your shower arm cap
We're under the ritual.
to avoid rust?
Yes. No. It's rust proof.
It is weird. It is weird to be like, okay, well, I'm underwater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start breathing now. Yeah,
That's got to be unnerving.
it is.
Swallow some at first.
So who else is getting in?
Oh, Orem's getting in too.
All seems good. Mentally out.
Okay, Orem is in.
Ket and Sakar are still dressed as guards.
Right.
Was the expectation that the guards would be coming along with the device?
Yes.
Yep, there's space in the device for 2 guards, I believe.
Yeah,
Right.
not inside, but it's kind of like a writing on either side of it kind of thing.
Examining the hatch, is there any way that we can have it closed while not having it latched so that it can, in fact, be exited from within?
You can if you damage it.
Oh, I'm good at that. If we damage it, will it be obviously open?
Well, that depends on how well you damage it.
Would that be a thievery thing, or?
That would be a thievery thing.
All right, then I can attempt to do that, as I'm guessing I have the best thievery.
Okay.
I have it. I have good thievery.
I don't believe you.
Why would you not? You are so negative.
Oh wait, was that actually your thievery check? That was that was a +10. Yeah, mine is much higher. Sorry.
Oh.
It's just wardens aren't classes that have thievery. All right, I have a 41 thievery.
Okay.
Next time we attack.
Yeah, you managed to essentially
you busted.
Take a pin and bend it in the opposite direction for where it's supposed to go. So basically the latch is just sitting on top of the thing instead of locking.
I was going to smash the whole latch, so that probably is superior thought process.
All right. Well, let's. I'll take a look at like the roots. Maybe look at the like, are they all about? I guess equidistant or
yeah,
do they all...
yeah. It's just like take this route on certain days and this one on certain other days, or this one in case something's going on over here.
Cool. Oh, I'll also take a quick look at the guy's clipboard just to make sure that there wasn't anything really significant written on there that I should be aware of.
Nothing significant written on there other than, it's like a lot of paperwork to do this. So somebody at some point is going to come check on the paperwork.
Sure. Oh, we already just knew we had a limited window on this. All right, then I will take the route prescribed for this day and time.
Okay.
Does his paperwork seem to be complete that we want to hang on to it on the clipboard and everything?
The paperwork probably appears like it stays here. Sure. It just has to be thoroughly filled out, and it isn't because he got knocked out before he could fill it out.
Does it have his signature on it?
No.
I will put his signature on it.
Okay. Give me a thievery check.
Okay. This way. 30. It's a nat 20.
Hey!
Okay.
This way, if and when people start looking for who dropped the ball, they'll know.
It was this guy?
It was Mr. Forbat.
Sakar writes down the guy's name. But we'll say that he actually didn't quite catch his name correctly, so he miraculously signs as this guy's supervisor.
He even conjures the supervisor's name out of the air.
It might have actually been written somewhere else on the paper.
Sure.
And then Sakar is just like, here, I'll do this. Blah, 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 and like just signs it.
It's not as though I don't summon things out of the air on a regular basis.
Yep.
That's what I do. All right.
Although, that said, you did specifically, like your backstory kicks off with, someone got tired of being a bureaucrat. So presumably, this is not necessarily your forte. But a nat 20 is a nat 20.
Simply because you don't like it doesn't mean that you're not skilled at it.
That's true. So, okay. Little Sparkle gets into the cockpit.
Yep.
All right. Give me an Arcana check.
Ha, great. Yeah, I didn't really think that one through.
Somebody should have thought before she mocked my thievery. Karma.
So she'll be like, I am not exactly sure how to work this.
Trade me.
Okay.
You said Arcana.
Yep. She'll trade seats with Ket and in turn trade disguises.
Yep. All right. 38.
Nice.
All right.
Visible imp telling me what to do.
Yep. You guys inside the tank, you feel the water vibrate around you as this thing starts moving. Just and it's got 6 legs.
So it does like an insect walk thing.
Yeah, after a few little kind of false starts, it's actually really smooth. It's a pretty smooth ride.
So what's our ETA?
I'll look over the route. How long do I think it's going to take us to get to the archive?
There'll be a couple hours.
Oh, a few hours.
Okay.
How are you guys doing back there?
Not bad. Just wet.
Alright.
Take a few deep breaths. You'll be fine.
Does Master Rivendorn even breathe?
Of course I do.
I've never seen you.
Also, it's Agent 222 now. Until we get out of this mission.
Code names, yes.
They've shown themselves willing to cross continents already.
All right. So is Kit just going to stick to the route?
Yep. Unless someone tells me otherwise.
Okay.
That's Dr. Fancy, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Operative names.
Right.
We're in the field now.
Right. So you guys make your way down this industrial district, then out of it through kind of this path built into the mountain to another separate platform. And then you actually kind of have to walk down the street every once in a while. I mean, it's like super early in the morning at this point. Every once in a while, you see windows open as people check to see what's happening because this thing does make a lot of noise. And they just shut immediately.
Clack, 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 clack.
Yep.
So they don't seem to be troubled once they see it. They just want to know what the noise is.
That's not necessarily true. They're just...
They're troubled as much as a tank walking down your neighborhood is usually kind of troubling.
Right. They're not like... It's not like they open their windows and they're like, oh, it's just a tank and close it. It's more like they open to see what it is and then immediately close it.
Yep. I don't want to deal with this.
Yep. It's like it doesn't seem to be heading towards me, so I'm going to hide.
All right.
As you guys continue to travel, there is a group of coil soldiers up ahead. One of them spots you down the street and starts moving towards you.
Sparkle will wave.
He walks up to the tank and knocks on the cockpit.
Yes?
Hey, where's this going?
To my mind just blanked on the name.
Sparkle just said the Black Archive.
Yeah. To the Black Archive.
Oh. I see. Well, we're having some issues up ahead. There's there's just a situation. Anyway, you probably want to you want to go down this street here, and then you actually want to go down for maybe 7 or 8 blocks, and then you can turn left there and then head down, and that should get you clear of what's happening.
What's happening?
Oh, the usual protest kind of thing. We think we found some sunrise agents, so we're kind of trying to hold everybody, have a few quick executions, see if we can get people talking.
Sounds like fun. Well, good luck.
Right.
Like he just kind of pats the tank and then just turns around and walks back to his peeps.
Before I move again, I'm going to check the clipboard or the information that we had because there was a protocol for detours.
Yeah. The way he's telling you to go is not one of the official detours, but it will eventually get you to one of the official detours.
Do I know what Sunrise is?
Yeah. Sunrise is an organization that kind of skirts the line between being a Laos guild and actually being truants. They're basically emancipators. Like the people pay them to get them away from the guilds, like people in debt or like people that are essentially slaves. And then Sunrise like transports them out into the country, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're called the Sunrise Liberation Agency. So, of course, the Coil hates them.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Obviously.
Sunrise is entirely illegal in New Mawakal.
Well, good to know about them for the future, as we might need some smuggling out of the city. But hopefully they don't all get killed on this raid. Yep.
Right.
Well, they can't round up all the usual suspects at the same time.
Well, let's move along.
Yep. Follow the suggested path.
Okay. Follow the suggested path for a while, and eventually get back to one of the detours, one of the sanctioned detours.
Follow the sanctioned route.
Okay. Well, you guys travel for a while longer. What do you guys do in the meantime?
Slosh.
Just hang around.
We go over the plan.
Clack, 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 clack.
We go over the plan.
Clack, 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 clack.
So once we arrive, we'll enter the science area building thing. We really need names for these things.
Sorry, I wasn't written on the side of the building or anything like that.
Actually, it was. Never mind. All right, so once we arrive in that building, then we change our disguise. We attempt to enter the archive. Once in the archive, we find Lek. Once we have Lek, we destroy as much of his research as possible and or necessary and or feel like. Exit. Attempt to regroup back at the science building. If we cannot regroup back at the science building, then we regroup back at the fish shop. This is the
Correct.
plan.
There's also two possible other extraction options, because the attempt is to rendezvous back at the science building so that we can all get out of there. If for some reason the tank is destroyed, the science building is destroyed, we can't get out of the archive proper, then we're going to try to get into the sewers. And if we can't figure out how to disable the mechanism they have that would allow us to get into the sewer safely, then we're going to try scaling the wall.
We'll go through or over the wall.
I can use a scroll sending while driving this, right?
No.
No?
No.
Shit.
Who do you want to send to?
Lek?
Oh, that's smart. I can use that. I'm okay at it. So I'm unlikely to fail.
Yeah.
And I can help. Shut up.
I figured we'd give him the sending about 10 minutes ahead of time to let him know we're on the way and
to get ready.
Get ready and give us his exact location.
Yep, and he can possibly. Oh man, we should have. Well, it's sending. He wasn't able to get that much out before, and he probably wouldn't be able to get that much out more. But if he has anything he can offer as advice about his situation, that would be helpful too. So yeah, if you hand me the scroll, I can read it before we get too close.
I'll tell Guy to give her the scroll.
Okay.
As I am busy going clack, 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 clack.
All right, we get it.
Clack, 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 clack.
Look, when the running gag has run too long for me. Okay, never mind.
See, what you can't see is that I'm also doing hand motions to go along with the tank moving.
Because that works great.
Like, are you making like bug hand motions?
Yes.
No, it's my feet or my hands are flat and they're just kind of going like the little wind-up toy. Those little.
I thought maybe you were like making like big like lever motions.
Nope, I'm the tank.
Like you know those things that like where the steering wheel is like weirdly like perpendicular or like parallel to the ground.
Yeah,
It's got like a little handle that turns, so you can like turn it around and like weird. Yeah.
Nope, I am the tank, and I am walking like a tiny little wind-up toy.
Okay.
That is
Clack, clack,
adorable.
clack, 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 clack.
All right, when we are getting close, but not so close that like it's going to take me longer than it takes to use the sending ritual before we're in visible sight, and it would be weird for me to be casting a ritual.
Right.
I will use the scroll.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
All right, Sakari, you want to assist on this?
Absolutely.
And old
He can't. He's not gonna be able to. Like.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
You barely have enough space to hang on to the tank and read this. He's
Fair
really
enough.
not going to be able to get to the other side of it. And
I thought we were just mocking my stats again. Never mind.
Yeah, hopefully we should have proximity to it, or that I don't need to go so far. So yeah, I've got an 18.
Okay. How far does that get you?
That gets us 100 miles.
Perfect.
Yep.
As long as it wasn't a nat 1, we were fine.
I think we're good.
Cool.
9 or lower is 10 miles, so
Sure.
Nice.
I don't think the city is that big.
Right.
And it definitely isn't that big if we're about 10 minutes away.
Right.
So yeah, 25 words.
We're clacking.
Clack, 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 clack.
We're coming for you now in a water tank. We'll be disguised as researchers. Make any preparations. Let us know anything important.
Location.
And your location. There we go, 25 words.
Yeah!
All right.
Clack, 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 clack.
Yeah, you don't get a response.
Uh-oh.
I mean, that could just be mean that he is unable to talk to us.
Or that he's more than 10 miles away.
Or 100 miles away.
More than 100 miles away. In another dimension.
That would be unfortunate. It would be a big waste of resources, time, and risk.
Not necessarily.
Well, we have no way to abort at this point, so.
Nope.
In another dimension, that means they might actually have a stable way of getting to said other dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which we then definitely need to destroy.
Or after we go through it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, proceed as previously discussed then.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys get to the fancy new platform. It's Pake platform. You guys remember this place? It has an entry to several different districts, and basically up front is this long corridor full of checkpoints that would lead you to the district where the Black Archive is.
All right. Well, moment of truth. Let's go.
Okay. You
Clack.
walk up to you clack up to the checkpoint.
Clack, 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 clack.
Or the first checkpoint anyway. And
Clack, clack, clack.
You broken Sam.
And you said the joke had gone too far.
and it came back around.
I would walk.
Love it.
Yeah. So there's a lady with a clipboard, and she's on a platform with a little like standing desk. And she's like overseeing things, and she grabs her paperwork and comes down and knocks on the cockpit.
Roll down the window.
Nah, it doesn't roll down the window. It like opens up.
Open up the window.
Okay. She's like, "Come on, I don't have all day."
Grab
Papers, please.
grab the papers. Hand them over. I
Like-
guess.
We don't have
We
papers.
don't
Can
have
I have
papers.
it? I would say maybe try to make an insight check for what it is that she's waiting for.
Yeah. That seems like a good idea. 43.
Oh, good roll.
Nice.
Well, she's clearly waiting for something from you. Name, ID number, could be any number of things, but clearly she just has her paperwork there, and she's waiting for you to essentially, without her being like, "What's in this field? Like this field now? Tell me what goes here." Like she just expects you to rattle off like something.
Gotcha. Well, we've got a name and we've got his ID badge. So.
Yeah. Say this information off the ID badge.
Okay. She writes it down. Any problems? Anything we should know about?
Not that I'm aware of.
Detour.
Had to
There
make
was the
a detour.
detour because of those sun guys.
Skirmish. Yep.
Sunshine activity.
I hadn't heard about that, but I'll just double check on that. Thanks for letting me know. She flips the thing. Is like, all right. Well, she looks back and like motions over past the first checkpoint, and these two coil guards come out, and they basically stand at either side of where Sakar and Little Sparkle are.
Are they clearly expecting us to swap out?
Yep.
So we swap out.
Any witnesses?
There's maybe 300-400 people coming in through the checkpoints in and out,
Okay.
plus like actual armed guards on the walls and things like that.
Okay.
Just a few. We can totally still pull this off.
Oh man.
Well, clearly we have to follow protocol.
Yeah. It's like you two are going to have to
Clearly.
step off. There's
Yep.
He thinks climbing down.
Yep. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Actually, Parker would be like, "You sure we can just ride it all the way in?"
The lady with the clipboard is like, "Well, do you have the clearance for that?"
So like, yeah, absolutely.
She flips through her paperwork. All right, well, what's your badge number?
8, 6, 7.
5, 3, oh.
Did I spot like so the badge number on like the badge that I stole that I was like looking at for a while? I mean, I guess that would be a Scientist badge. Oh, man.
Combine the scientist badge and the badge that we have.
Sure. I will put together a scrambled numbers that will be like the scientist badge and the badge that we have, and hope that we come across the right numbers.
Give me
Not 3, I said B.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Give me an insight check, because you're basically going to start giving numbers and then
be cute as did that make her? Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Is that what she was looking for?
Yep.
26.
26. Okay, you start rattling off numbers.
9075/B 59.
I'll just
ham salad.
We'll have her roll her bureaucratic stone face. See what that does. Well, congratulations.
Nice.
So, yep, she starts writing stuff down, and you're like, yeah, it's 3, 9, little picture of a tiger, an eagle with dots on it, little spiral. Oh, no, I meant counterclockwise spiral. Okay, yeah. And she's like, well, we didn't expect somebody with this clearance to be coming by today, but I guess that frees us up some guards. Hey, and she just turns right to one of the guys who are like, okay, now you don't have an excuse. Go clean that up. And he's just the guy's just Murr, and then shuffles off. And then because they're all wearing the big gas masks, so they have to be very evocative, very expressive. And, and just wanders away, kicking, and they play that Christmas Time Is Here from Charlie Brown over it.
Christmas time is here.
So she's like, all right, go ahead.
Thanks. I'll get back onto the guard thing and immediately write down what it was that I gave her in terms of my clearance, so I remember it for the next guard.
Yep. Give me. Let me have you give me a perception check, Matthew.
Perception.
Yep.
30.
Oh, that's pretty good. As you're heading in, the remaining guard, she gives him a piece of paper and says, that is I didn't have any notice about this, so why don't you gonna go ahead and run that badge number? He goes off.
They're running your badge.
Well, then we are on a clock.
Clack, 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 clack.
No clack.
You guys get to another checkpoint.
Clack, 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 clack.
There is a another bureaucrat type. He's like, what is this?
Water.
We have water. Oh, wait, is this the... Oh, okay,
water.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead. He doesn't even check anything.
Clack.
Awesome. Clack, 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 clack.
You get to another checkpoint.
Clack, 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 clack.
These two, there's a bureaucrat, a couple soldiers, and these two sciencey looking guys get down. Basically, you guys are down this corridor that it's basically exactly wide enough for this thing. Like this is about the upper limit of what can come down this hallway or this corridor. It is also covered. Like there's glass essentially. There's kind of a glass dome over it. Yep, they like get down, and the bureaucrat kind of does this like shooing away motion at Sakar.
Shooing down?
Yeah, like he wants you to get off of where you are.
All right.
Because you've got like a little step that you're like basically standing on, like garbage trucks. That's basically
like a garbage truck.
Yeah.
You're blocking his way.
I try to step down in a manner that is both surly yet as respectful as it seems to need to be.
Okay. Yeah, climbs up on it and like rests his clipboard on the side, and he's like, "Hey, driver."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, so do you have the paperwork for this, the weight and the volume and everything?"
I was told to leave that back at the factory.
You were? By whom?
I need the name you signed with, Matthew. What is the car's thing?
Old Snake.
I need the name you signed with, Old Snake.
Blackagar Boltagon. I don't know.
No, not Blackagar Boltagon.
Oh, sorry.
We'll say it's
He's too royal.
Nino Forbat.
Nino Forbat.
What? I hate that guy.
Sorry, just following the orders I was given.
This guy like groans for like a full minute. I'll tell you what.
I mean, we filled it out and he signed it before I left.
I'll tell you what. Next time
on critical
tells you. All right, everybody focus. We're having a good time. I don't mean to yell at Brian, but I do. I hate him in real life.
We're focusing.
Yep. He's like, listen. Next time, let me give you something. And he like takes out a slip, and he writes on it, "You are the worst." And he's like, hand this to your supervisor next time you see him. Tell him it's from me, and tell him that he knows exactly where to file that.
Wow.
All right. Do you have a specific name that you want me to send him? Or take a look at his badge, if he's wearing a badge?
Yeah, his name's Quito.
All right, Quito, you got it.
All right. Hey, are you guys done down there? And basically, these guys are like messing with the legs. They're like, I don't know. It doesn't. There's something weird about these. Just, they seem like dirtier than usual.
Yeah, we had to take a detour. There was some problems that were going on our usual route with Sunrise.
Oh, those Sunrise guys. Exciting. Well, I guess that makes sense. Yep. Did you guys go through like a really dirty neighborhood or something? It's just weird. Yeah. It's like usually just like if there's any like spillover from the acid bath, it tends to clear this grime up pretty easily. He like that same as he's like saying that, the scientist walks over and is like, "Hey, driver."
Yeah.
You went through the whole procedure, right? Mist, acid bath, then fill in the water.
Of course. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, man. Sorry.
No, we had to take a trip through Soot Alley. You know how that place is.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
We weren't able to take the prescribed detour routes as we didn't find out about it until it was way later than we could have turned. All
right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a bureaucrat. I get it. I'm just, they just we're supposed to check, all this stuff. The brass is like, oh, we don't want abnormal things.
No, we get it. Just the brass is also wanting this one. We got word of this
Right,
kind of last minute.
Yeah, we got word about it. I mean, as long as the bureaucracy is done with their personal vendettas, we can move on. And the the bureaucrat guy who's still like up on the thing, he's like, "You're on my list too."
Keto, calm down. We gotta get this thing moving.
I swear. It's like, oh yeah, work in the checkpoints, deal with guys from operations, deal with guys with arcane. And it's like, oh yeah, that'll be great. Meet lots of people. Just climbs back up on his desk. It's like, go ahead, get out of here.
Thank you. Clack, 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 clack.
I'm gonna leap back up on.
Clack, clack,
Yep.
clack, 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 clack.
Chet started clacking before I leaped, but I leaped in an awesome way. So
Yeah, sure. Yep, caught up.
I was trying. Clack, 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 clack.
remember that next time you're on fire.
You get the
Okay.
half the time he's on fire is because you set him on fire.
And the other half is because I set
get-
myself
I
on
get-
fire.
Yeah,
That was yeah.
that's what he was
Yeah.
getting at. I thought you were gonna like somehow help him when he was on fire. Like, that's-
No.
Gotcha.
Got it. I'm serious too.
You get to another checkpoint.
Clack, 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 clack.
Air brakes.
No, I remember there was a sign when we scoped it out earlier. It specifically said no air
Jake
brakes. Yeah, no Jake brakes.
Right. No roach braking.
This is all soldiers, and one of them walks over and just goes right up to Little Sparkle.
Yeah.
So everything all right?
Yep.
You got anything to report?
Had some delays due to a sunrise insurrection.
Oh. Are our boys looking at that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wait. You came all the way through?
Yeah.
So you have clearance to be in here.
Yep.
I know you could do that. Hey, did you know that you could work on the outside of the archive and still have clearance to be in the archive? And there's just another fly man, and he's just it was like a big shrug. How did you manage that? You're related to someone?
Say that. Yeah, it is. But they wanted me to have I mostly work in here, but I was on the outside since they wanted to have extra protection for the tank given the complications. You know how the geeks are, they don't want anything to happen to their precious water.
Right. Terrible. I used to work way out in the range. We used to see some real action, had elven war bands come at us and everything like that. There's a promotion, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm one of those guys, in the buildings with their little pencils and their little quills and their little oh, where does this paperwork go?
Yeah, I get it. They tell you it's important work, but it just seems so boring.
It's all right. I mean, it's a step up from experimental tech. That wasn't great. Had a couple of friends blow their own arms off trying stuff out. So
yeah, beta testing is always brutal.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we've probably held you up enough. I just need to run both of your badges real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your badge number?
I'll give my made-up badge number.
Okay. And then he walks over to Sakar. And what's yours?
Oh,
Worst.
the worst.
Same as hers +1.
Actually, we don't want to be too obvious, so I'm going to go -2.
As your
-2
insight check, buddy.
where? Just like
My
all the
insight-
numbers -2?
No. I'm going to pick the number that seems to be the one that can have the -2. Should I roll insight? I could roll insight.
Yeah, give me an insight check, sure.
Thanks, Samantha. As a predator. I haven't programmed insight, so I have to actually push buttons.
that means it's a really good skill.
You're mean. 32.
Wow, nicely done.
Yeah, that's not bad.
32. Mean.
Which is good because you need it to be able to tell what this guy is, like whether this guy believes you or not, on account of him wearing a giant
Fly hat.
gas mask. Yeah, fly monster gas mask. You know, writes down
based on the badges that we've seen, clearly there's that one number that would give me the same clearance as hers.
Right.
But I don't want it to be immediately in sequence because that seems, way too coincidental. So 2 off. So it's 375, little man with a flail, the sun with an eye.
Yeah.
A
sun
duck
sticking
with
its tongue
2
out.
Yeah.
Right.
2 scoops of raisins. A leprechaun and a cuckoo bird and a 6.
He's like, all right. Go ahead.
There we go.
All right. Thanks.
Clack, 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 clack.
You guys out on the outside, either or both Sparkle and Old Snake can give me a perception check.
Ooh.
35.
20.
Oh.
So this time it's Sparkle who kind of out of the corner of her eye sees somebody from the front like make it through that previous checkpoint and walk up to talk to the soldier. Like you don't know what they're talking about, but motions to a badge and then like they're now kind of like matching up numbers with a piece of paper that he just wrote in.
This is going to go south fast.
Clack, 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 clack.
Okay, so as you go,
Get
the
ready,
hallway,
Orem.
the hallway opens up, and you come up to what is most likely the last checkpoint, which is essentially a little desk with a guy sitting on it, and then on either side of him, 2 full-on battle-ready Locust tanks.
Clack, 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 clack.
The guy comes over to Mr. Fancy, Mr. Fancy, Dr. Fancy. I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot about your residency.
Didn't spend 8 fake years in
Fancy medical
school.
He was fancy intern last year.
With a concentration on fancy neurosurgery.
He spent 2 years as fancy attending.
Oh, I thought he was just practicing family fancy.
Yeah. So yes, the guy walks up to Dr. Fancy, knocks on the cockpit.
Open
Open the window.
Okay.
I'll roll it down.
Ow.
I tried that already. It didn't work.
He's like, so do you have all your paperwork?
I told Keto back there that I was told to leave it at the factory.
Okay, well, let's get him over here.
Keto?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not telling you to do it.
Okay.
I'll have somebody do it. And he motions for a soldier to go down and head down the checkpoints. And just kind of wait.
Will think it, Cat. Tell him we don't have time for this.
I say the scientists are wanting this like yesterday. We already got stuck with the detour thanks to the Sunrise guys. Cost us an extra hour.
Well, that's fine. If the scientists needed this water yesterday, they should have ordered it earlier. My job is security. And I'm going to do a thorough job. So you just sit there and we'll sort this out. Now, if you followed instructions and there are no discrepancies, you can be on your way here pretty soon. But if there are, then there are going to be some problems.
As long as the geeks don't complain.
Sure. Sparkle's thinking we need a new plan and we need it quickly.
Who, I'm sorry?
Hey, buddy.
The scientists.
Yeah, what is it, soldier?
Listen, we're already late. If we're any later, it could mean our jobs. I mean, give us a break this one time. I mean, you could be in the private sector next week too. I mean, seriously.
Well, I doubt that, but we did lose some people, but that's because of a faulty bureaucracy, or because people didn't follow the proper bureaucratic channels. You're more likely to get fired if you don't do things right. Rushing something through, that's just going to make more paperwork for me and for all of those bureaucrats later, and they're going to come gunning for you. They're going to be like, whose fault was it? And they're going to say it was my fault, and then I'm going to throw your supervisor into it, and then your supervisor is just going to tell them it was your fault. Trust me. If we just walk through every little bureaucratic page, everything will be fine. If any wrongdoing happened, then we'll sort it out. And more than likely, nobody ends up incarcerated.
What's going on?
Are those tanks fully armed and operational?
Are you asking him or are you asking me?
I'm asking you out of character.
They seem to be. They're not like you've seen the Locust tanks do, and basically their front weapon, which is like a bunch of like rods essentially in a kind of like chain gun formation. Like when they're ready to attack, they spin. They're not spinning, but the tanks are on. And there are pilots inside each of them. You can see them. The cockpits are somewhat obscure, but you can see that they're manned.
Right. If you have to explain why something didn't go quite right for the Cycle 9 project, then that'll be on you.
I suppose that's true. Then again, Cycle 9 means there's more at stake. Therefore,
security takes precedence.
That's right. See? Your driver gets it. Look, let's just get started. If you have any, I'll take all your batch numbers. I'll take all the relevant information. I mean, obviously, this is not your first time coming through the checkpoints. You know this stuff has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll start. I guess we'll start with the tank number. And he goes around the back and starts writing stuff down. So now he's behind you guys, and he's basically, or your tank is between the Locust tanks and him, and also on the other side of the Locust tanks, the entrance to the district proper.
So does it seem like we're currently in view of the like if there are pilots in those locust tanks, they can see the front of our tank clearly.
Yeah.
Man.
Can you accidentally back over the guy?
I think that would just turn the locust tanks on us.
Oh, okay.
I say ram a tank.
Is he clearly
my
visible
current thought
in the
process
back?
is WWTD.
Just charge in past these
What would
tanks.
torque do?
What would torque do?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
And can we actually see the building we want to be at?
Oh yeah, you can see the Black Archive clear as day now.
No, I mean the like how far away is it?
Oh, it's a while. If you remember, it's like a massive. It's just basically this massive open courtyard. The water building is on the opposite side, basically. So you'd have to walk, not necessarily past the archive, but kind of diagonal and away from it for a while to get to it. And again, it's like the archive is a massive building. Then there's the platform it's in. Then it's a massive moat of churning water. And then the district proper, which houses like 3 garrisons and that water building. So it's plenty of space.
Is he now in view of the, like when he's in back of us, is there anyone who's got a sight on him currently?
You can see him.
Sure, but like if I say stuck around there and knocked him out, would that be obvious to the 2 other locust tank pilots?
Not necessarily. There is like the checkpoint you just passed a few, I mean, it's not too close. It's like maybe
A few dozen clacks.
A few dozen clacks away.
Are there any, this is the last checkpoint, though?
It appears to be the last checkpoint. So you would have to be hella sneaky to be able to knock this guy out.
I am hella
sneaky and knock this guy out. And then take his face and wave us through.
That's the play.
Do it. Do it.
Can I use ghost sound, or does that require line of sight?
I don't know. Let's see what ghost sound says. Also, do you still have ghost sound?
Yeah.
Nice.
Surprisingly. It says you cause a sound as quiet as a whisper, as loud as yelling or fighting to emanate from the target. You can produce non-vocal sounds such as ringing of a sword, jingling armor, scraping stone. If you whisper, you can whisper quietly enough that only creatures adjacent to the target can hear your words.
Yeah, I would say it definitely needs a line of effect.
Ah, okay.
So I'm going to say no.
So no voice throwing of, hey, hurry up and let those guys through.
Well, definitely none from you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually really good at that. So, all right, then. Oh God. So she'll be like, yeah, I can help you with that. And she'll get out of the tank, like her section, and sneak around in back, and then just try to basically do a, hand over mouth, like knock him out, as quickly and stealthily as she can.
All right. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Absolutely. That'll be a 36.
That's not bad. Basically, you walk over, and the guy's just like copying down numbers, and you can just essentially, like in one fell swoop, kind of like grab the back of his head and knock him against the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And you do, and it conks him out.
Cool. Then I'm going to use a series of Kenku ventriloquisms to have a nice little conversation with myself back here. So she'll mimic Kito's voice, be like, what did you need me for? And then this guy's voice be like, just, they didn't have the right paperwork. Just wanted to get that sorted out. And then Kito's voice like, oh yeah, I mean, we ran it all. Everything seems to be in order. You can send them through. And then this guy's voice being like, I don't know, this is still a little weird. How about you? You stay back here and we can get everything cleared. It's like, okay, sounds reasonable to me. That's being Sparkle's own guard voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then some movement, like she's, basically like a weird movement sound that sounds like maybe someone moving off, like walking off to go sit and wait. Because can also imitate all sorts of weird stuff.
Yep, just and make noises. Yep.
Look out for the cat.
Yep.
Then the atom bomb went off.
And then she'll come back as bureaucrat guy.
Hopefully he lifted all of his stuff, right?
What are you doing with the bureaucrat guy?
Oh, actual bureaucrat guy? That's a really good question. Oh, can I shove him into the water?
Throw him in the tank. No, you need to like climb up, open the hatch, and put him in there.
Is there like somewhere in the undercarriage you can just kind of stuff
like built behind us that I can just stash him very quickly?
Well, that depends.
On?
It's like, I know this game doesn't have humanity ratings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to put him in lots of little pieces, if that's what you're getting at.
No, I'm not, but there's no guarantee if you put him in the undercarriage that he's not going to end up in lots of little pieces.
Oh, yeah. No, I wasn't actually saying the undercarriage of the tank. I was saying, is there like a crate or like a rack or something I can stash him in so he just will be out of sight?
Nope.
Rain barrel. Throw him in the undercarriage.
Did he come out of a guard shack?
No, he was just out in the open.
Standing there in the open. Okay.
And there's 2 tanks.
All right.
There's no desk or anything over here?
How much can
he had a
bags
desk
of holding?
Not enough for a full person. Little children, yes.
No, that was a joke.
It is a joke.
9 years ago or whenever, it was a joke.
It was a joke, people.
If I can basically weekend of Bernie's this guy to
That's what I was wondering. If you could just walk him, back to the desk or something.
Yeah.
But you're gonna take his place, so you're in a bit of a trouble there.
I'm trying to think.
If only there was something that would make him invisible.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. I will drag him off to the side and feed him an invisibility potion.
You can't drag him off to the side. You have to do it right there.
Oh, well, then I will feed him an invisibility potion.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Clack like the wind.
The guy turns invisible.
Great.
Oh, my God. You're the best.
Please write that in your inventory. You're down 1 invisibility potion.
Well, worth it. Then I'm not. Yeah, then he'll round the corner and say to the tanks, I guess, be like, or actually he'll say to Kat, he'll just I'm gonna ride in with you then to the lab just to get this cleared since this is highly irregular.
Sounds good.
So this guy will nod to the tanks.
They clack out of the way.
All right.
Clack, 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 clack.
There's 2 of them. Clack, 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 clack.
All right, you guys are in.
Wow.
Oh my God.
What a place to end this week. Good times, good times. I know I was on the edge of my seat.
You paid for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Well, I think Randus and Orem were doing water ballet while the rest of you were sweating bullets. Thank you, everyone, for downloading and listening. Thank you for sharing with a friend. Thank you for all the iTunes reviews. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2016 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
This This podcast is part of the Frog Pants Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio program so good, it's like you're there.